It was a quiet Sunday afternoon, the kind where the sunlight looks soft, almost sleepy, and the whole apartment feels warmer than usual. I was kneeling on the kitchen floor, trying to find my misplaced measuring cups, when someone knocked on my door. Not a heavy knock, not desperate, just gentle, curious. I didn't get many visitors, so I wiped my hands on a dish towel, walked to the door, and opened it. That's when I saw her. A woman with soft waves of blonde hair, freckles across her nose, a loose cardigan, and a nervous smile. She held an empty glass jar in her hands like it was a peace offering. "Hi," she said. "I'm your new neighbor, and I'm out of sugar." Before I tell you why she didn't leave until the sun went down and why I didn't want her to, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment so more Sapphic women can discover these tender, intimate stories on Sapphic Fiction Hub. Now, let me tell you how a jar of sugar turned into something a little sweeter. She shifted the jar between her palms. "I'm Chloe," she said. Her voice was warm, shy, the good kind of shy. "I'm Rachel. Come in." "Oh, I don't want to bother you," she said quickly. "You're not, really?" She stepped inside, her eyes scanning the soft light in my living room, the candles I'd lit earlier, the half-prepared baking mess on the counter. "Your place smells amazing," she murmured. "I was going to bake banana bread, but I can't find anything." She laughed lightly, and that sound made something flutter in my stomach. I opened my cabinet and reached for the sugar jar. "How much do you need?" I asked. "Just a cup." I poured it into her container, but when I turned back to hand it to her, our fingers brushed. She froze a little. So did I. Her eyes lifted, slow, deliberate, meeting mine. Something in the air thickened, not uncomfortable, just new. "Thank you," she whispered. "Are you sure I'm not interrupting?" she asked again. "Positive." Then I added, without thinking, "Do you want to stay a minute?" Her lips curved slowly. "I could, if you're sure." "I'm sure." "That's dangerous," she said softly. "What is?" "Me staying." She said it with a playful smile that didn't match how much electricity I felt in the room. She stepped into the kitchen with me, sleeves pushed up to her elbows. "Want help?" she asked. "You bake?" "A little." "Perfect," I said. "I need all the help I can get." I handed her a bowl. She took it gently, her fingers grazing mine again. Not accidental this time. "Sorry," she murmured. "You're not," I said softly. Her eyes flicked up. "No," she whispered. "I'm not." She mixed the batter while I mashed the bananas. "You have great arms," she said out of nowhere. I blinked. "What?" She blushed instantly. "I mean, you mix really well. Wait, that sounded worse." I couldn't stop laughing. She hid her face in her hands. "This is why I shouldn't talk." "No, please keep talking. It's my new favorite thing." She peeked at me between her fingers. "You're teasing me." "A little." "So I can tease you back?" My throat tightened. "I'd like to see you try." As we poured the batter into the pan, she leaned over my shoulder, close enough for her hair to brush my cheek. "Smells amazing," she whispered. "So do you," I whispered back before I could stop myself. She froze. Then she smiled, slowly, beautifully. "I wasn't expecting that," she murmured. "Neither was I." We slid the pan into the oven. "How long?" she asked. 40 minutes. She hesitated, then said, "Can I wait with you?" "Please do." We sat on the couch, close, but not touching, until the silence grew warm and she shifted a little closer, then closer again, until our knees touched. "Why did you move here?" I asked. She sighed softly. Needed a new start. A quieter one. You came to the right building. You're the first person to talk to me like you actually mean it, she admitted. I looked at her gently. I do mean it. She swallowed. You're very easy to talk to. And you're very distracting. Her cheeks flushed. I should apologize. Don't. She smiled at her lap. When she lifted her head, her face was closer than before. Not inches, centimeters. Rachel, she whispered. Yes? You look like someone who hasn't been looked at properly in a long time. My breath shook. You're right, I whispered. She moved even closer. She notices things, she said softly. Like what? Like how you keep looking at my mouth. I felt heat climb through my chest.
You're imagining that. No, she whispered. I'm really not. She lifted her hand slowly, giving me time to pull away. I didn't. Her fingers brushed my cheek, soft as breath. You're warm, she whispered. You make me warm. Her lips parted just slightly, not for a kiss, but in surprise. That's really sweet, she said quietly. It's true. Just as she leaned closer, just as I felt her breath on my lips, ding! The oven beeped loudly. We both jumped. She exhaled a laugh. Your banana bread has terrible timing. I laughed too, heart still racing. Should we? She should, she said. But I'm not done with you yet. My stomach fluttered. She stood close as I took the bread out. Too close, really. Her hand brushed my hip as she reached for the oven mitts. Sorry, she said. You are not, I repeated. No, she whispered. I'm definitely not. We cut a slice while it was still steaming. She tasted it, eyes closing. Oh my God, she whispered. This is incredible. You're incredible, I said before I could stop myself. She looked down, smiling softly, the kind of smile someone makes when they're trying not to feel too much too fast. We shared another piece, and then another. Are we eating the whole loaf? She asked. Yes. I'm okay with that. Crumbs stuck to her lip. I reached out and brushed them away with my thumb. Her breath hitched. Oh, she whispered. She followed me back to the couch. This time she didn't sit on the other cushion. She sat next to me, thigh pressed against thigh. This feels nice, she said softly. It does. She tilted her head. Are you always this gentle? Only with people I like. So you like me? I swallowed. I do. She shifted slightly, turning toward me. Rachel? Yes. She took a slow breath. Can I? She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't need to. I nodded. But she didn't kiss me. Instead, she rested her forehead against mine, breath mingling with mine, warm, soft, electric. You're easy to be near, she whispered. You too. I wasn't planning to stay this long. I know. But I didn't want to leave. Why not? She exhaled. Because you feel like the kind of person I've been hoping to meet. My chest tightened. I'm glad you knocked on my door, I whispered. I'm glad you answered. She leaned in, brushing her lips against my cheek, barely, but enough to make my breath catch. I'll text you, she murmured. I'll answer. She smiled, a soft, knowing curve, and walked out. I watched the door close behind her. My apartment looked different, warmer, like it had been filled with new air. I whispered to myself, she stayed just long enough. If this cozy, intimate neighbor-next-door romance warmed your heart the way it warmed mine, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share so more Sapphic women can discover these soft, domestic stories on Sapphic Fiction Hub, where every knock, every look, and every slow moment becomes something deeper.